Hello， 大鸡 here， 我是大鸡。今天呢，我们的企划呢是网络观察。我们会看一些这一个礼拜呢，这些呢网络乡民们分享的一些奇异的，甚至会让人怀疑我们这个世界是真实的还是虚拟的一些影片哦。所以呢，那我们话不多说，赶快开始吧 ，Let's go。You
think artificial intelligence is not a threat, but the creator of OpenAI, which is the most famous artificial intelligence company in the world, walks around with a backpack with a kill switch for the artificial intelligence in case it gains consciousness and takes over the world at any second. This is the person that created ChatGPT, by the way. He walks around with a backpack with a kill switch for the artificial intelligence because he's worried that it will gain consciousness.
Robot company that's trying to develop stuff that regenerates itself with flesh.
Ooh.
What? I think it's for war. It's attempting to create some sort of energy out of natural matter. And then the big conspiracy is like they're going to kill the enemy and then eat the enemy so they can keep walking and kill more of the enemy.
So it's just zombies.
Yeah. It's a literal company.
Oh, yeah. The energetic autonomous tactical robot, EATR.
Yeah, Eater.
Who said it was intended to consume vegetation, not animals. One of the robot's inventors told. That's crazy. That it's just like, but it's intended to eat plants. But what if it chooses to eat flesh?
Yeah. It's called Eater, dude.
Also, why do robots need to eat?
No, it's literally their
energy source.
Yeah.
That's 100% real. That's crazy.
A tired parent let ChatGPT babysit their 4-year-old for 2 hours and then admitted it on the internet. A parent shared on Reddit that they were exhausted after 45 minutes of non-stop talk about Thomas the Tank Engine, so they tapped out, picked up their phone, opened a ChatGPT, handed the phone to their kid, and said, "Tell the computer all about Thomas." Look, I get needing a break when your kid is talking your ear off, and sometimes you do have to get stuff done, but this parent made a choice. After this parent let their kid talk to the ChatGPT for 2 hours, the transcript was over 10,000 words long. Now this parent's wondering if they messed up because their son thinks that ChatGPT is the coolest train-loving person ever. Chat set the bar super high, and the parent doesn't think they can compete. While some people thought this was cute and relatable, we gotta address the elephant in the room. Hi, ChatGPT is not meant for use by anyone under the age of 13. This child is 4 and doesn't know the difference between a chatbot and a real person. Meanwhile, we've got adults out here developing parasocial relationships with AI. How is a 4-year-old supposed to navigate a robot BFF? It's gotta be confusing. And maybe it's just me, but I'd be a bit worried about a conversation between a kid and AI going in a darker direction. It wouldn't take much for an innocent conversation to take a very hard left turn. Call me old-fashioned, but supervision and caution should probably both be exercised when introducing new technology to young children. Hours alone with AI just doesn't seem prudent for a preschooler. Of course parents should get breaks when they need them. Parenting is exhausting. Just be aware of how you're facilitating those breaks.
That is like literally the creepiest thing I've ever seen. No, it's changing. It's changing.
Are we looking at
There's lights in the sky too.
Playing Disney World too?
It's coming over me. It's gonna abduct me. Everybody's filming it and looking like they don't know what this is.
I don't know.
Wait, what the heck is that?
I don't know.
I don't think this is
I would say
Disney.
it's in
I
California.
don't think this is Disney.
I'm actually kind of scared. Wait, this looks exactly like the thing on the movie. You know what? What's the movie where they spell the words with the circles?
Guys,
It really
Arrival.
looks like that.
There's black fog coming out of it. What the heck?
How is that possible?
Taylor, I'm scared.
It's giving Harry Potter. It's giving like the what do they call them when it's like they go into the smoke? They like change it to smoke.
Wait,
I'm literally shaking.
no one's talking about it.
Why is nobody
因为好像已经
right now?
How did he
好像已经发生了蛮多次，所以大家也是见怪不怪。不过我觉得刚刚那个黑圈比较还没有那么奇异，我是觉得黑圈旁边那个粉红的光晕，然后呢，那一个怀孕的女生讲说，就是有颜色，有粉红色的亮光朝我飞过来耶，她是这样说的。我觉得那个部分倒是蛮悬疑的哦。
Saying whenever you are out in the midst of a large group of people, you have to pay attention. People that were at a festival in France were targeted and attacked with syringes. You heard me? There was a festival in Paris, France. They're saying that these people were targeted in more than 100 syringe attacks. And most of the people that this happened to, they're saying that the people that were attacked with these syringes noticed a mark on their body and then they started feeling ill. Mind you, they didn't have any idea what was in those syringes. They don't know at all. It could have been anything. And check this out. 12 of those 145 people have been detained. What have they been detained for? What was in those syringes?
Right.
See, but here's the thing. You have some sick people moving around here that's doing anything and everything to hurt people. And this shit is crazy. Mind you, it was thousands of people at this festival, at these events. And you know when shit like this happen, it usually starts a trend. Pay attention, man, because you can't stop what you can't see. I'm out.
Did you all hear about the Paris Music Festival? There was a attack done by syringes. How insane is that? 145 people were pricked during this attack. The festival reportedly broke out in chaos. 371 people were arrested and reportedly 1,500 injured. News reports said more than a dozen young women were hospitalized. It is absolutely getting more dangerous by the day to be out and about, especially in large crowds.
Y'all better stop following trends. That Labubu is evil, and now y'all about to find out. So it's a video of this girl saying that she's throwing her Labubu away because it's evil. She said she was sleeping in her room and she woke up with a scar on her neck. Mind you, of course, nobody's in her room with her, and there was no other way for her to get the scar on her neck. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit.
I had to throw my Labubu away.
Listen.
And that's what I did. Cut the show. Cut the motherfucking show. Y'all. Look at this.
Look at that mark.
Oh, no.
That's a dumb motherfucking hickey. That is
How did
not
that get
scratch.
there?
My nose are not even that long or sharp for me to scratch myself. I took a nap, y'all, like an hour and a half nap right now. And I woke up and I literally been looking at myself all day today in the mirror. I was like, oh, period, body tea, like that's how I've been all day today. And I was in the restroom right now and I was obviously looking at myself again when I woke up. And I noticed this, like, so that means I was looking at myself all day today. I would have noticed this, like, whatever this is on my neck, right?
So she said her brother said he came in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and when he came in, a door that he left open was fully closed. Who closed the door? And then look at what the Simpsons said about that Labubu dog. We already know that the Simpsons always tell the truth about what's going on. And this ain't the only time somebody is saying that something happened with one of those Labubu dogs. I mean, look at the dogs. They look evil. They look like something is wrong. Why would you buy a dog that looks like that? Okay. Keep playing with these things, and y'all gonna run into issues. I'm out.
所以你相信吗？Labubu 被附身。说到Labubu，其实我本人是很喜欢 Pop Mart， 然后超喜欢，就是 Pop Mart 还没有在大概就是Pop Mart 是在大概10年前就有了吧？因为我很久以前就看到他们刚开始出的就是 Emily， 那个时候还没有Labubu这些东西，那个时候他们就只有一个 series 就是 Emily 这样子。然后所以虽然没有Labubu呢，但是呢，现在干脆开一下箱。所以大妈我也去 Pop Mart 买了一点小东西 Cookie Series Tab 这边可以撕开，所以他们真的是很会做，现在这个 marketing 真的是很厉害。See what I get? Oh, so cute! I got the departure. I got this one. Departure 1/12的机会，好可爱哦。Okay,
forget the x-rays. We have the CT scan images of the Boogosphere. And I'm looking at these images and I'm like, why does this look like Stonehenge? Real quick recap for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. This orb was flying around Buga, Colombia. It was videotaped by 2 different people at the same time on March 2nd at 1:45 p.m. One of the recordings is from Jose and the other one is from Maria. Jose and his friend were out metal detecting. Maria was out feeding her cows. Jose and his friend claimed that it struck some wires, and then in Maria's video, it is flying very slowly up and down. You can actually even see lights on the sphere in Maria's video. And then it actually landed in the woods in front of Jose, and they went and retrieved it. Initially, all they had was x-ray images, and that they used AI to help decode what this says. We'll come back to that in a minute. The orb seems to be completely sealed, no welds, no joints. After about 30 days, they didn't know what to do with it anymore, so they recruited the help of Jamie Masson, who is a known ufologist, to which he claims the sphere is currently in a safety deposit box. They've been taking it out and having experts do rounds of tests on it. We now know that it is about 95% aluminum, smaller percentage of manganese and zinc, that every test they've run on it, it has fluctuated. The hardness of the aluminum originally tested 326 to 336 units. Pure aluminum is typically only 65. Duralumin is typically up to 105. But as they've continued to test this sphere, every test fluctuates between the hardness of the aluminum. The temperature changes constantly from 24 with ranges all the way up to 33 for no apparent reason. When Jose picked it up in the woods, he said it weighed roughly 4.5 pounds, but every time they have weighed it, it has weighed something different. And no one has an explanation for that. Maybe something anti-gravity? Or something inside of it is messing with all the electronics. Okay, now that you're up to speed on all of that, these are the CT scan images, some of them, and they made 3D models based on the images. Now, no one knows exactly what this is inside of it, but let me explain something to you. These images here are if it was sliced in half where the belt with the little rivet looking things going around the edge, and these images are if the belt is this way. So it's almost like, do you see this here? And there's like almost a straight line there. It's almost like if you took this one and turned it, that this would be where that is, and this would be where that is. But what is that? Now, here are some measurements they did, and the outer edge wall is about 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, one thing that they noticed was if you took these out, these go all the way to the center, like an opening. Okay, so now in this image, those would be where those two openings were. And that's when I was like, God, why does this look so similar to Stonehenge when it's sliced in half? Don't ask me how my brain put these two things together because I don't know. Then I was like, let me compare it to the outside also. And I'm like, well, that's the language. But what I find super interesting is that everybody was talking about the language being decoded by AI. AI analyzed the language, but not against an alien language, against ancient Earth languages. They say that AI analyzed it against Runic, Enochian, Ogham, ancient Arabic, ancient Hebrew, and even ancient Mesopotamia. So do you guys think this is actually still some sort of really elaborate hoax, or do you think there could be some truth to all of this? So if this is a hoax, could someone explain how it's flying?
It's safe to say that by this point you've heard that Israel's former space security chief is now claiming that extraterrestrials do in fact exist, and the President of the United States has known all along. But look, you don't have to take my word for it. Here's the MSNBC report, so you can make up your own mind.
Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years. Not immigrants, but extraterrestrials.
Wonder if he's going to say that they're the Galactic Federation.
He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens. President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets.
I wonder why.
He claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
I mean, yes, we definitely don't want the whole world freaking out.
Retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. He claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
Obviously, it's not up to me to tell you what to believe. That's on you. So anything we talk about is for learning, information, and entertainment purposes only. But have you heard this? Because I find this fascinating, and just letting you know, disclosure is right around the corner.
对，这个的话就是信者恒信，不信者恒不信，所以说大家就是可以多少了解一下，我觉得也很不错。
See, y'all want to see the dead guy hanging out at Fort Lauderdale again?
Fort Lauderdale， 哦，这是他们的机场 ，Fort Lauderdale 机场。
I mean，
这什么蜡像哦？哎，我以为是那个真人秀哎。
Perfectly embalmed.
这是蜡像。
Looks like a real person, don't it?
He's been here since 1994. The only thing to me that really looks fake is the beard.
对，就是头发。
Like, maybe they could have done a better job at that. But yeah, like, look at his hands. Just look like that looks like an embalmed person's hands and arms.
因为他皮肤的不同的颜色弄得好真实的感觉。
I don't know what the deal is with this down here.
刀片。
Yeah, what's up with the razor blade and the napkin and the tape?
一个小飞机。
It's really like a mausoleum piece.
Same script over and over and over again. They create these little Disney stars for you to grow up with. That way you form an attachment to them.
I feel more like your friend because we grew up together.
You feel like you know them. You feel like you love them because you've enjoyed what you've seen on your TV screen. As they grow up, they become more unrecognizable, inside and out. They start pushing your moral boundaries a bit, but that doesn't matter because you love them. You idolize them. You've grown up with them. You know them. So you support it. You cheer for it. You want it, you yearn for it, but little do you know that you're supporting a system that is exploiting women. Same with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. Just two little girls in the Mickey Mouse Club, and the next thing you know, they dress them up as little schoolgirls singing Hit Me Baby One More Time, and singing songs about I'm a slave for you. And just like any unhealthy enabler that I have ever met in my entire life, you cheer for it, you support it, because you love them. You just want them to be happy. Let's see what Jaguar Rights states happened to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
Do you believe that Britney was Drew Diddy and absolutely, absolutely, all of those girls, all of those Mickey Mouse girls, including Christina Aguilera, all of them, all of these children have been picked.
People start seeing dead relatives around 3 weeks before death. So as a hospice nurse, like clinically, it's just something that I see all the time. People will say, it's ICU psychosis, it's delirium, it's the medications. I know that is not true because I've been a hospice nurse and an ICU nurse. I've seen someone who is delirious or hallucinations because of a disease process. Those things I can tell you with 100% certainty are not happening with visioning. Visioning is like you and I sitting here and me suddenly seeing my dead uncle, Jack, who I haven't seen since he died, and he's telling me that I'm gonna be okay and he's gonna come get me.
Is it always someone that's dead?
Yes.
This is so common that it's literally in hospice textbooks.
Over 80%.
80%.
Over 80% of people. As a new hospice nurse, I remember thinking, how irresponsible of us as healthcare providers to give someone a book that says your loved one may start seeing the unseen and talking to dead people. And then after a couple years, it's like, oh yeah, I totally see why.
As they are near death, there's some sort of amplified awareness that they are tuning into.
And it doesn't matter if they're religious or not. And in fact, many people will say, I've never been religious. I don't even know if I believe in this stuff, but this is what's happening to me. And they said that it's like they're in a different world, a different realm, even though they're still here. It feels like time standing still. It feels expansive. So this woman reaches up and goes, oh, Bob, I've missed you. And the daughter, it gives me chills right now. The daughter was like, Bob was my dad. You know, her husband, he died 5 years earlier. And she was up there, she was smiling, going, Bob, I missed you. And then she put her arms down and started crying and then said, I'll see you soon, and then died shortly after. And then, of course, the daughter's telling me the story, and she just lost her mom. But it's also like, I'm so grateful, she said. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, my mom literally saw my dead dad before she died, cried because she missed him so much, and then said she was coming to see him soon. And then what's crazy is, I hear stories like this all the time, where it's like almost second place. Like, it's easy to forget them, but I mean, it doesn't really get old.
More profound was that CIA was interested in certain humans that may have had an enhancement of this alien DNA. That is to say that basically we're all aliens in some respect. But some of us, some humans, have an enhancement of that alien DNA. And that was the first time I ever heard that. To me, that was the most shocking thing I ever heard of. I didn't know that.
Why were they so interested in the DNA of extraterrestrials and the DNA of humans that may contain extraterrestrials for maybe enhancements? I don't know.
There's a cognizance, I believe, within the intelligence community, particularly CIA, that there are humans among us that might be more extraterrestrial than human. And how do you identify them? That could be a major factor in why they were interested in that. And there's also the, I guess you would call contact tracing of like who's who.
Right.
And So what they did reveal that there was an interest in certain families.
日本天皇
How would you
家里
understand
面
families?
I understand families to mean bloodlines.
Right.
族内
That they were interested in certain bloodlines, going back to
Ancient times.
who knows, ancient
然后
times.
看一下这个 John Ramirez 他是谁 John Ramirez 自1984年至2009年任职于美国中情局，退休前为 GS-15 15级的高阶情报官。那他跟 UFO 跟 UAP 的关联呢，就是他退休后，然后他在很多节目里面有提出 CIA 长期对某些光球 orbs 以及神秘的飞行物体进行观察与情报收集。他最引人注目的说法之一是，政府将于2027年进行有计划的揭露，向公众承认外星存在的事实。他认为政府正在渐进式的在为此铺路，以免社会恐慌。
Tesla's first robo-taxis are officially on the road.
First Tesla robotaxi ride.
Elon Musk's company launching its long-awaited self-driving taxi service in Austin, Texas, offering rides to a select group. The cost, a flat rate of $4.20 per ride.
There's no driver. There's no ghost person up there.
While they're technically driverless, each car still has a safety monitor, a Tesla employee riding in the passenger seat. For now, the service is limited to a handful of cars in a small area of the city, but Musk has big ambitions, not just for robo-taxis, but for every Tesla.
By the end of next year, we'll have hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million Teslas doing self-driving in the U.S.
Tesla calling this a precursor to the Cybercab, which the company says will go into production next year.
You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals.
Driving development of the self-driving software, artificial intelligence, trained by consuming data from millions of Teslas on the road.
To be the son of God. David?
Yeah, let's get it right. We're all the children of God. We're all created by God. We're created by the thoughts of God. When we think, we create an energy field. When we think thoughts of love, forgiveness, and peace, and all the things we want to bring to the world, we create a certain kind of very positive energy. When we think thoughts of hate, of all these other emotions, of anger, of fear, we create another kind of energy, a very destructive one, which, if it's in big enough quantities, destroys the very life force of creation.
Science now says that reincarnation might not just be fiction. After 50 years of data and thousands of case studies, here's the evidence behind past lives and how that can change our understanding of reality forever. A recent study reviewed decades of data of children remembering their past lives. And this was the strongest case. A boy named Paulo was born in Brazil in 2013, and at the age of 6, he told something to his mom that no one told him before. He said, "I was at work, a thief shot me, the bullet hit my head, and then I died." And the most remarkable thing about this case wasn't the fact that Paulo described details about being his granduncle, who also happened to be murdered decades before Paulo's birth. Paulo was born with a rare birth defect where he had a cavity in his skull compatible to where the gunshot wound would have been. And Paulo's case matches 50 years of data of other children remembering their past lives, with over 60% of cases ending in violent deaths, with birthmarks that match the fatal wounds. Key takeaway here is that the evidence behind reincarnation goes against conventional materialistic science and adds to the argument that consciousness goes beyond our body.
Alrighty， 所以那这就是今天分享的影片啦。如果想要看更多像这样子的影片的话，不要忘记帮我订阅、按赞、开启小铃铛。那我们下次见 ，Have a good one， 拜拜。
Where did you go? Drifting fast through the afterglow. Raindrops dance on it.